Good morning, everybody. I welcome you to the active learning session. Myself, Forum Dave from Alpha Engineering College and Technology. Today, we are going to have the session on illumination from subject Elements of Electrical Engineering, that is AAA. Now, the outline of today's session is containing introduction, basic terms related to illumination, basic factors which are governing electrical lighting scheme, then different lighting scheme depending upon the direction, then we'll concentrate on indoor lighting scheme as well as industrial and commercial premises, then we'll concentrate on street lighting, and last we will have some methods of lighting calculation and numericals based on that. So starting with introduction, as a human being, our each and every activity depends on or it is dependent on light. Either that light could be a natural light or artificial light. In the absence of this light, we can't do our any work. Natural light can be of sunlight, and artificial light can be of by simply lighting up a candle or by doing a campfire or electrically produced light. Now, among all these three methods, electrically produced light is more beneficial and it is more generally used. Why it is more generally used? Because it is having certain advantages that are reliability, steady output, cleanliness, ease of control, and its low cost. Now, how could we say it is reliable or steady output? Because whenever we are switching on or off a light, we would get a steady output. The output won't change as far as your switch is on. Once the switch is on, the light is on, and once the switch is off, light is off. That means it can be easily controlled by just switching on or off a light. As well as if I am switching on a light, that means my pollution or the premises is not going to be polluted. That's why it is said that it is clean. So due to these advantages, we are generally using electrically produced artificial light. Now, apart from its aesthetic aspect, it is also having some economical aspect. That means it increases the production. As far as increase the production is related, we want to say that if a worker or a labor which is working in industrial premises is having proper amount of illumination or proper amount of light, it can or he can concentrate on a work properly. He can give his 100% input, hence it would increase our production. Also, it reduces workers' fatigue. Now coming to some basic definitions. First of all, we'll define light. Now, light is a form of electromagnetic energy radiated from a hot body which can be sensed by human eyes. I am right now having a application with me in mobile, that is flash application. See, if you can see, if I am giving light, see on the surface, if I am giving light, this light can be sensed by me as well as by you. So, the electromagnetically produced energy which can be sensed by human eyes, that is defined as light. Now, this wavelength of light can be measured in angstrom, where 1 angstrom equals to 10 raised to minus 10 meters, and it is expressed in lumen hour or watt hour. This particular hot body or hot body as lamp or tube light is defined as luminous body. Okay. Now coming to illumination flux. Then luminous flux is nothing different than magnetic flux or electrical flux. This both term are very known to us. The total quantity of light energy emitted per second from a luminous body is called luminous flux. That is represented or denoted by capital F or phi. Okay, that means whatever amount of light energy is emitted by bulb, that total quantity emitted per second, that is defined as luminous flux. Now this luminous flux is helpful where we want to specify the output or the efficiency of a given light source. luminous intensity. First of all, we have seen the definition of light, then luminous flux. Now luminous intensity is any given direction is the luminous flux emitted by the source body per unit solid angle. That means luminous intensity is always measured in a particular direction. That means if I want illumination on this particular surface, then whatever amount of luminous flux is coming out of hot body, that would be always measured in particular direction. So it is direction precise. It would be always measured in direction. It is measured in a direction in which the intensity is required. Okay, it is denoted by capital I, and it is given by equation flux, luminous flux F divided by omega. Omega is nothing but a steradian, which is the angle of solid angle, unit of solid angle. Now defining solid angle. What do you mean by solid angle? It is given by the ratio of area of the surface to the square of the distance between the area and the point or the source. That means if I want to measure or if I want to denote solid angle, that would be the ratio of area of a particular surface or a particular working plane which I want to illuminate, divided by the square between that particular working plane and the source. Figure shows, figure would give you clear view about solid angle. That is denoted by the distance between working plane and a point or a source is given by R. The area of a surface is given by A, and the distance, if I want to give solid angle definition, if I want to measure solid angle between this particular area, then it would be the ratio of area of a working plane, that is denoted by A, divided by or to the distance between working plane and a source of a light body. Now coming to next definition, that is luminous or brightness. This word is very well known and we are very familiar with this word, but we are not having actual definition of brightness or luminance. It is defined as the luminance intensity per unit projected area, either a surface source of light or a reflected surface. That means whatever amount of luminous intensity is there, that would be measured per particular projected area if it is the fixture of a lighting or a particular surface of working plane. That is denoted by capital L, and it is given by the equation I, which is luminous intensity, to A, which is the area of a working plane. Now glare. Glare is defined as a brightness within the field of vision of such a character to cause discomfort or interference. That means it would provide stress to human eyes. That is defined as glare. If I want to see through something and high intensity is light coming in my way, I won't be able to see the particular object. That particular phenomena is defined as glare. Looking into the figure, see, if you concentrate on particular figure, after few seconds you won't be able to identify between the object and the surrounding, because it is having high intensity of light. That means I could not see through the light. It is stressful to my eyes, as well as the I could not identify between the object and the surrounding. This particular phenomena is defined as glare. Now coming to the basic term, that is illumination, on which this chapter is based. Illumination is nothing but whenever a light is fall upon any surface or any working plane, that is defined as, or that phenomena is particularly defined as illumination. It is defined as the number of lumens falling on a particular working plane per unit area. It is defined by capital E, and it is given by the equation luminous flux to the area of the working plane, and it is given in the unit lux. The illumination scheme for various premises are designed according to the purpose for which light is required. Now up to now we have discussed about different type of definitions such as light, luminous flux, luminous intensity, brightness or glare. Now we are going to discuss about certain factors which are affecting while we are designing any lighting scheme. So first factor would be taken care would be space height ratio. Now what do you mean by space height ratio? Space height ratio would give you ratio of horizontal distance between two adjacent lamp to mounting height of a lamp from the working plane. That means if I want to space light fitting at my home or at a working place, it would give you the ratio between two adjacent light fitting to the power the mounting height from the working plane. Next is utilization factor or coefficient of utilization. It gives you the ratio between total lumens reaching to the working plane to total lumens coming out by the lamp. That means whatever amount of lumens which is utilized to illuminate something to the to total amount of lumens which are coming out of the lamp. Next is maintenance factor. If I am using certain product or certain devices, by day it would be depreciate. That means it requires some certain maintenance. So this particular phenomena is defined as maintenance factor. In electric bulb or lamp, it is also defined as due to the accumulation of dust or dirt or smoke on the inner surface of the lamp, they starts emitting lesser amount of energy or lesser amount of lumens as it was emitting previous. So considering this particular thing, we have designed a maintenance factor, that is it would give you the ratio between illumination on under normal condition when it is to the power to illumination on everything is considered to be clean. Now depreciation factor. Depreciation factor is nothing but inverse of maintenance factor. Maintenance factor is considered as a taking care of something. In depreciation factor, that means however amount of decrease or something has been drawn for a particular thing, that is defined by depreciation factor. Now coming to our next major point, that is factors governing lighting scheme. Then to have a good lighting scheme, that means it would give you proper illumination throughout the working plane in the absence of natural light and enable us to identify any color or object. That is particularly we mean by good lighting scheme. Now whenever we want to design a good lighting scheme, there are certain parameters which should be kept in mind, such as types of lighting fixture, kind of occupancy, spacing between the light fittings, size of the room and number of light sources used. We will discuss all the factors in details, starting with the first factor, that is type of lighting fixture. Now what do you mean by type of lighting fixture? A lighting fixture or light fitting or luminaire is an electric device used to create an artificial light by use of an electric lamp. If I'll say simple one word, it would be very clear to you. If I'll say holder, it would be clear to you what do I mean by lighting fixture or lighting fitting. You must have seen this at your place, at your home. It is mounted on wall. So there is mainly two purposes for which we are using lighting fixture. First is to provide support and second is to provide electrical connection to the lamp. Now this lighting fixture may be mounted on wall or on ceiling, or sometimes it is suspended from wall. This different types of light fitting are designed according to the requirement or according to the luminous scheme we are desired. Now starting with first slide, that is showing you different types of lighting fixture. Here mainly four figures are shown. First figure is nothing but ancient type of lighting fixture which we are using from ages. This type of lighting fixture would give you simply support and electrical connection to the bulb, and it is generally used in street lighting. Second, third and fourth lighting fixture is modern lighting fixture, which are such design it would be distribute the light in particular direction as our desire. Now second point is kind of occupancy. Kind of occupancy is generally defined whenever we are designing any lighting scheme. That means if I want to design a lighting scheme for a particular premises, I must first know for what kind of occupancy this particular premises is going to be used. That depending upon that kind of occupancy, your lighting scheme would vary. First kind of light, there are few examples which I have taken. First is as a classroom or as a presentation room. So figure shows you a class or a premises or a working plane which is used as a classroom as well as for a presentation room. If I want to use this particular premises as a classroom, then illumination scheme should be such that it provide good amount of lighting to each and every plane of my working plane. And if I want to use this particular room as a presentation room, then I have shown in figure by red arrow a whiteboard is there. Whenever there would be presentation, PowerPoint presentation, what I require lesser amount of lighting scheme, so that whatever is going on that whiteboard, that could be particularly seen to the students. So depending upon the occupancy in the same room, as for classroom and as for presentation room, my requirement of the illumination would differ. For classroom I require high amount of illumination, and for the same room which is going to be used as a presentation room, I require lesser amount of illumination. Next is my library room. A same room is used as a library, then as we all know that library is used for writing or reading purpose. So at all the time I require high amount of illumination to the readers, so that they can read easily or write easily. Lighting should be such that it is not stressful to reader, as well as it should be such that a person can concentrate on particular work. Third one is a conference hall. Conference hall would be same as classroom or presentation room. Whenever there is a conference going on, proper amount of illumination is required. But when a presentation is going on that particular premises, the illumination would be lowered. So occupancy matters a lot. The next slide which I am going to show, that is a wedding reception hall. You must have gone to someone's wedding reception.